All right, everybody. Time for an instant reaction as the Lakers go down. Pretty impressive performance by the Warriors for a lot of reasons, but I thought this was interesting. So field goal percentage, both shot. Lakers 48%. There's still a couple seconds left in the game. Warriors shot 51%. Not a huge gap there. They both shot over 37% from three. They were both excellent at the free throw line. The Lakers shot 14 free throws, made 12. Warriors shot 15, made 14. Assists pretty even, blocks even, steals even, turnovers exactly even, points in the paint 54 for the Lakers, 52 for the Warriors. So how did they win going away? Rebounds. The smaller Warrior team had substantially more rebounds. And that, to me, was the difference in the game. Energy. Wiggins finally played with great aggressiveness, physicality, and energy. Draymond racing, pacing up the floor. Great energy. This was not, let's be honest, Steph was good, but so was AD for the first three quarters. LeBron was good. So was Draymond. Draymond mostly has had a very good series. Klay Thompson continues to struggle. But when I looked at this series, Andrew Wiggins tonight, I thought, brought something that he really hasn't in this entire series. So Wiggins takes, 2 months off for the Warriors. They're not the same team. They miss his perimeter defense, his twitchiness, his scoring, his mid-range game. He comes back against Sacramento, right? And we all kind of felt like we don't know what we expect. I thought he played better than I expected. So I had hoped that he would be even more engaged from a physical standpoint, more locked in, more capable of giving you 36, 38 minutes. Until tonight, you got nothing from Wiggins. He is a huge part of this team. He's a former number one pick for a reason. Long, quick, twitchy, nice mid-range game, can drive and finish at the rim, athletic. Tonight, you saw what happens when he is engaged physically and aggressive. That was always the knock on Wiggins, that he had all the tools, but when he was in Minnesota for years, he dropped 26 points. You didn't remember any of them. He could kind of vanish, disappear in games. I thought tonight there were several moments where he was very crucial on back-to-back possessions. So let's start with that. Andrew Wiggins, a big factor tonight. And he hadn't been. The second thing is Steph's played well and AD's played well throughout the series. I probably would have pulled LeBron and AD sooner. You saw AD got whacked upside of the head. LeBron was limping. They wouldn't have got to that point with me. We got to be honest about it. Like sometimes tonight, it just felt like the Knicks were going to win, right? Like they got a lead. They kind of controlled the pace. They were in control of the game. Brunson, shot-making, playmaking. It was the Knicks' night at home. I felt like it was the Warriors' night at home. The Lakers just felt like every time they get close, Steph hit a basket, Wiggins a basket, Draymond a basket, Poole a basket. So we know AD and LeBron are playing at a pretty high level. We know that Steph has played at a remarkable level. But I thought Wiggins and Draymond Green were excellent tonight. And Steve Kerr was quoted saying on a radio station in the Bay Area that, Steph, Klay, and Draymond are the future. And that when Kerr was with the Bulls at the end, they were spent emotionally and physically. I think Steph is as good as anybody in the world at what he does. And Draymond made second-team All-NBA defense. Still, you saw him tonight. He can be an offensive catalyst. His screening, his assists, his pacing, handles the ball very well. Draymond and Steph are very, very important. Boy, I don't know what you do with Klay Thompson. He's really struggling. He doesn't have a ton of energy offensively. He's no longer an elite defensive player, and they have Gary Payton if they need that and Moody. So I don't know what they do with him. I know he means a lot to Steph and Draymond and Kerr, but I don't know what you do with that contract. I took some notes in this game. My first set of notes were in the first quarter, 7 threes for the Dubs, and they only lead by 4. So my initial impressions of this game is the Lakers are getting very easy twos. The Warriors are more spectacular. 7 threes at home, still a close game. My notes in the second quarter, Anthony Davis, again, too many easy buckets. But then Steph, right before the half, hit a couple of threes, and it was 70-59, 3 at the buzzer. And at that point, I really felt like it's just not going to be the Lakers' night. Every time they get close, and we saw it in the fourth quarter, every time they kind of inch back, they get it to 9, they get it to 10, Steph hit a 3. Third quarter, my notes were Lakers lethargic to open, now 75-59. Wiggins jam, LA way too many turnovers. Draymond highly offensive-minded, good pace. And then I put 2:30 left, Warriors up by 16. Then some other notes. LeBron limping, AD's done, get him out of the game. I think tonight, though, like the Knicks at home, I thought tonight was a pretty predictable outcome. And, you can tell it was really important that Jordan Poole has really struggled in this series. And I've said this, and I said it again today. It's hard for him. I believe he's a starter in this league, just not for the Warriors. And he's too often compared to Steph, and that's a bad comp for everybody in the league. You put him in Orlando, you put him in Houston, you put him somewhere else, he gives you 24 points, big offensive energy, he's creative and clever. He doesn't play much defense. Hey, Harden didn't for a decade, Luka doesn't, Kyrie didn't. If you score 25 a game, people forget the defense. Melo's a legend in New York, never, ever played defense. You get the offense figured out, you got fans, you have supporters, you'll find a place in this league. So I don't want to hear about, Jordan Poole doesn't play much defense. Klay Thompson doesn't play much defense anymore, all right? And Poole can be more consistent and more spectacular on offense than Klay Thompson, often. So I thought Jordan Poole, it looked as though Steve Kerr had said to Jordan Poole in the lead up to this game, before last game's disaster in this game, he said, hey, Jordan, not everything has to be spectacular. You can shoot a mid-range jumper. You're trying too hard. And I think that's one of the things about being a backup to Steph Curry. Steph is so spectacular that you come in and you're just automatically compared to Steph Curry. And I think Jordan Poole's really talented. Doesn't play any defense. But he is really clever, can beat people off the dribble, can get a shot. Not as many guys in this league can get a shot by themselves without a screen as you think. So I thought Poole played pretty well. Steph was great. Draymond amazing. Wiggins completely, utterly engaged. But here is the latest report, and it's disturbing, on Anthony Davis. According to Mark Spears, he was wheeled into the Laker locker room in a wheelchair. Now, he was hit on the side of the head. There were reports he was poked in the eye. It was much more than that. He was banged upside the head. And my takeaway, he may have a little bit of a very, very mild concussion. Otherwise, why would he be in a wheelchair? So if the report, and I trust Mark Spears, he knows what he's doing, if Anthony Davis at 6'11" is in a wheelchair after being banged upside the head, he's probably having some stability issues. Rob Pelinka, his agent Rich Paul, are reportedly huddled by the Laker locker room. So they wanted to get Anthony Davis, obviously. They wanted to get him off his feet. They didn't want him wobbling into the locker room. So that is concerning. I would have pulled him out earlier. When you had 2:30 left in the third quarter and the Warriors were up by 16, I went to Twitter and said, hey, should we get AD off the floor? Should we get LeBron off the floor? I didn't think it was, crazy to suggest that. So AD got banged in the head after that, and the report is he is, my guess is that he's wobbly, and they wanted to get him off his feet. Take a quick break. Back with more in a second. Some good news, though, for the Lakers. How great have the NBA playoffs been so far? Miami upsetting the number 1 seed Milwaukee Bucks. How about Warriors, Kings go 7? The Knicks upset the Cavs. If you live in one of those cities and wanted to go to the games, there is only one place to get tickets: the Game Time app, the fastest growing ticketing app in the U.S. For last minute, amazing deals. They don't stop with the NBA. They do baseball, hockey, concerts, comedy shows too. Download the Game Time app and use the code Colin, COLIN. Get $20 off your first purchase. $20 off first purchase. Terms apply. Again, download the Game Time app. Use the code Colin, COLIN. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. The Game Time app. All right, best wishes and cross your fingers with Anthony Davis. But as I look at the box score, the very encouraging part for the Lakers is they shot 48% from the floor. And they were a little sloppy with turnovers, 14. And they had them in spurts, but they also created 14 turnovers. But they continue to get, I think, really, really good looks. And I think it's also encouraging that more Austin Reeves, more of a role player. D'Angelo Russell both played well. Schroeder gave you 14 points. I think Lonnie Walker is somebody they're getting more and more confidence in. I thought the Lakers had really good looks. I thought when they attacked the rim, the Warriors were much more aggressive defensively. Draymond had blocks without fouls. Maybe you get those calls in Los Angeles. The Lakers did not get those calls tonight. So one of the things that's been very clear in this series is that the Warriors are scoring more spectacularly. But the Lakers continue to get a lot of good looks and a lot of mid-range and close looks. They're an old school offense with some limitations on shooting the ball. They hit 10 threes tonight. That's okay for them. But I did feel like, especially in the first half, that the Warriors, the degree of difficulty on their shots, and Steph can hit them, is just much higher than the degree of difficulty for the Lakers. And I'll give you a football analogy. When you watch a football game, the first couple of series, I always look for who gets the easier yards. If you can get consistently 6 yards running the football, your receivers have a little more space on the completions, those are easier yards. If you're really trying to grind out yards, you're getting down to third and 3, and they bring out the chains again, and you make it by a half, and every first down is a struggle. Over the course of a game, I like the team early that gets easier yards, and the Lakers in this series get more quality, easy looks. The Warriors are just much more spectacular. So, my takeaway coming up for Game 6 in Los Angeles, do I think Wiggins, Draymond, and Steph will all play this well? Can Wiggins back this up with another great performance? I don't doubt Steph will shoot well and Draymond will play well. But you had three players for the Warriors play fantastic basketball. Jordan Poole, I thought, bounced back a little. Didn't take as many high-risk shots. This series, this is the longest stretch Anthony Davis has played big minutes and remained healthy. This series may come down to a finger cross on Anthony Davis's health. The only reason I suspect they put him in a wheelchair is just for stability as a big guy walking. They wanted him off his feet because he didn't get hit in the legs. He got hit in the side of the head. And you could see him grabbing his head. He looked woozy. So, and again, this series, it's one day off, and then you're playing a game on Friday. So this would be a great time to get 2 or 3 days off for Anthony Davis. And this is one of the things I worried about with the Lakers. LeBron is substantially better with that second day off. Anthony Davis is a better player with a second day off. Remember, go back to Game 1 when they had a 2.5-day rest advantage off that Memphis series against the Warriors. How good do the Lakers look in that first half against the Warriors at Chase? Their energy, their dominance down low, their physicality. Second half and the next game didn't have that huge rest advantage. Game was much closer. So cross your fingers for Anthony Davis. 3-2, Lakers still lead. My only real thought about the New York Knicks beating the Miami Heat. was one of the things about sports. It's not just about deciding who you are, but what you're not. And Jalen Brunson creates so much clarity. A-plus leader, A-plus playmaker, A shot maker. You're set. You got your quarterback and your leader for 7 years, 6 years, 8, many as you want it. He's just moving into his prime. You're set. Carmelo, you had a great natural wing score. Didn't really commit in the defensive end. I never thought he was a great leader. He was just talented. Brunson gives you the quarterback leadership thing, the toughness. You got your playmaker. He's going to have his hands on the ball for a majority of the offense. You also have excellent size and length. I'd keep R.J. Barrett. I'd probably move Julius Randle. But the Knicks not only know what they are, they know what they're not. They got to go out and get another elite scorer. They know exactly what they need. And they got some bodies to move. So I don't think they're going to win this series. But you go into the offseason, a lot of these teams like Memphis, what is John Morant? Is he a 1? Or is he a talented 2? The team often plays better when he's not around. They have a higher net rating when he doesn't play. What are they? What are the Grizzlies? They have talent. They have depth. I know exactly what the Knicks are. You got your mature quarterback for as long as you want him that's going to lead this franchise, size, length, and you got I believe, a tradable player. I think Julius Randle, the guy gives you great effort. He's a 3 on a championship team, maybe a 4. You can't tell me he doesn't have value. He commits on the defensive end, excellent rebounder, great effort guy. He's going to play a lot of games. I'd probably try to move him. If not, you keep him as a 3. But as I watched that game, I thought, what a great place to be. It's like in the NFL when you finally find your quarterback. Okay, that box is checked. Now I got to get a left tackle. I got to get weapons. I got to get an offensive coordinator or a head coach. Let's get an edge rusher. But if you can't get the quarterback right, everything else is waiting to get the quarterback right. The Knicks have their leader, dependable, lean on me, shot maker, playmaker, ball in his hands, their quarterback for as long as they want him. And he's just a terrific player, an absolute pleasure to watch. Maybe he'll never be iconic like a Jeter and a Melo in New York, a Lawrence Taylor. Maybe he'll never be that level, but they got their quarterback. And those Villanova guys, rock solid. Coached hard in college, willing to be coached hard, want to lead. All right, there's instant reaction. We'll see you tomorrow on FS1 and Premier Radio.